Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jerry, Stephen discuss trading back and OL needs. It is officially draft week in Frisco as the Dallas Cowboys gear up to make their currently scheduled 7 draft selections along with putting together an undrafted free agent pool that will largely dictate their off-season additions after a quiet free agency period. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones, along with son and executive vice president Stephen Jones and head coach Mike McCarthy, spoke in front of the media today to discuss what this week could look like in a draft that has them picking at number 24 in the first round and 6 more times across the weekend. However, don't put those numbers in stone just yet. With the potential to trade back being talked about more and more, Jones sees an opportunity to pick up some middle-round picks, an area where they pick just once between number 87 and number 216, in a first-round trade. It's very likely to have an opportunity to do that, Jerry Jones said. Given the right people left on the board, or the wrong people gone off the board, and the right trade, really, there's a lot of variables here as to whether you'd go up or down. Obviously, we'd like to have some mid-round picks. The first round features a wealth of offensive linemen that fit the needs up front for the Cowboys heading into draft weekend after seeing 2 starters in center Tyler Biadasz and left tackle Tyron Smith depart in free agency. It's not something that is immune to the Joneses' thinking heading into the weekend, either. It's great to be drafting a position when there's a lot of them, Stephen Jones said. Quantity. If you're where we are, of course it's the 24th pick. But my point is if you can go in and it happens to fit need and there is a long number of them in the draft, that's fortuitous. That's a good thing to have happen. If you look at attrition, if you talk about where it hits us the hardest, Stephen Jones said. It's the guys we lost in the offensive line. A lot of discussion has mulled around which offensive line position the Cowboys would need most. And fortunately for the team and offensive line coach Mike Solari, there is a Tyler Smith up front that can give you flexibility on who exactly is picked with his versatility to potentially go from left guard to left tackle. For McCarthy, it allows the team to take the best player available instead of reaching at a specific position. I think the biggest thing is you've got to take the best player, the best value, he said. Tyler's flexibility gives us something unique to have. The fact that he's started at both positions at such a young age is pretty special. I look at these players, just say the offensive line room, which player, regardless of the position, do they make the offensive line room better? I have great confidence in our process that if we do select on high, that will make the offensive line room better and we'll figure it out. Also playing into the Cowboys' favor is their track record of drafting first-round offensive linemen with Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick and Tyler Smith all exceeding high expectations after their arrivals. I think the communication is outstanding between our scouting staff and Mike McCarthy and his staff, Will and his staff, really in terms of getting on the page as to what we want in a Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman, Stephen Jones said. There's guys up there that some people have higher than others. Everybody's got an opinion and certainly a feel for what would fit with their group. I just think we do a great job of going through all these guys and really communicating back and forth. Moving past offensive line needs, getting a starting caliber running back is the expectation coming out of the weekend. But for McCarthy, bringing in a guy that can simply elevate the competition of the room and not have to push the issue on drafting a starter allows for more realism to come into play. My God, I hope we can get one of these running backs, McCarthy said. It would be great to add it to the room. But I don't believe that these draft picks are just absolutely starters. I don't succumb to an 11-man roster because it's not the reality of how this thing works. I think the fact that we're in a 17-game schedule, it's even more exemplified. It's going to take them all to get to where we want to go to. Regardless of if there is an expectation of draft picks to come in and start or not, the needs of the Cowboys compared to how many picks they currently have run little margin for error for the front office and scouting department. Despite an inactive free agency period and a puzzling contract extension ordeal, that urgency, at least, isn't lost. "We're all in with these young guys," Jerry Jones said. "We're all in with this draft." Cowboys being patient in negotiations with CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jones made clear Tuesday that the Cowboys want Dak Prescott as their quarterback long-term, but the owner warned that it will come with a price. A new contract for Prescott will mean a lesser supporting cast. The Cowboys lost left tackle Tyron Smith, center Tyler Biadasz, and running back Tony Pollard, among others, this offseason. The only outside free agents they signed were linebacker Eric Kendricks and running back Royce Freeman. So, does a new contract for Prescott cost the Cowboys CeeDee Lamb? Lamb is not participating in the Cowboys' voluntary offseason program as he seeks a new deal that will make him one of the highest-paid receivers in the NFL. He is set to make $17.99 million this year on the fifth-year option and is eligible for the franchise tag in 2025. "I think CeeDee's one of the best players in the NFL," Jones said, via Jon Machota of TheAthletic.com. "I think he's very instrumental because of his position to quarterback success, personally. I think if you look at the complementary football, he does it all there for you. He's multifaceted in where we can line him up, the type of things we can use him for. He's dedicated in his practice and he's sound physically. That puts him really right there at the top as far as a player. I guess the answer is without saying any more, I think he's one of the top players in the NFL." Lamb and Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson both are waiting for new deals, which complicates both their situations. Bengals receiver Ja'Marr Chase also is seeking a long-term extension. All three hope to reset the market. Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill's $30 million a year average is the highest at the position currently. You don't think the representatives of Jefferson and CeeDee and Chase aren't talking? You don't think they got their eye on something really big? Please, Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones said, via Todd Archer of ESPN. Jerry Jones, "We want to keep Dak Prescott, but it will mean less money for supporting cast." The Cowboys have not had any real contract talks with Dak Prescott this offseason, the quarterback said last week. Prescott wants to remain with the Cowboys, and the Cowboys want Prescott to remain their quarterback. Yet, Prescott conceded last week there is no guarantee he is in Dallas beyond this season. He is scheduled for free agency in 2025, and he has a no-tag clause in his contract. "We want Dak Prescott," Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said Tuesday, via Jon Machota of TheAthletic.com. "That's that. I give Mike McCarthy a lot of credit for Prescott's improvement last season. That improvement demonstrated to me there's more as far as ultimately winning what we're trying to do here. The question nails it for me. We want Dak. We think that there's room for growth. If you are a team that has a lot of cap room, and then you have a quarterback for a little while that is well underneath in his rookie contract, San Francisco last year, us with Dak early after we had Tony Romo, boy, we had a lot of credit card use there on Romo. Dak came along, so we didn't have to have it, so we were able to absorb that money and still keep Tyron Smith around him. So Dak has enjoyed, in his career that we're proud of, some of the best supporting casts that you could put around him. To move forward, we will have to diminish that. That's a fact. That's the rules. That's our challenge, and to make it work out. Dak is the quarterback Cowboys, I don't even have a blink on that one. Prescott is counting $55.4 million against the salary cap this season. He said last week that becoming the highest-paid quarterback is not necessarily his goal, and he seems in no hurry for an extension. Why would he be? Prescott will get his money from somebody. The Cowboys could be waiting to see if Prescott, in his 9th season as their starter, can get them beyond the divisional round. They still haven't been to an NFC Championship game since 1995. The Cowboys also haven't moved on extensions for receiver CeeDee Lamb or edge rusher Micah Parsons yet either. You may be working on contracts and not moving anything but your eyebrows, Jones said. Who in the world would think that we're not working on it? I work on it. It pops up at 2 in the morning sometimes. What you're actually questioning is why don't you have something done and negotiated and put in the drawer? Well, we'd like to see some more leaves fall. We'd like to see some more action. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Dak Prescott? Leave your opinion in the comments.